record this. All right, so this is May 2017 question number 2. And A, we're asked to factorize the following expressions completely. We have 6y squared minus 18xy. And the first step in all factorization is to see if there's a common factor. All right, now 6 can go into both 6 and 18. So I have to put the highest common factor outside of the bracket. Y is also common. You always use the one with the lowest power, so that is y. Then I'm going to divide. Now 6y into 6y squared is y, minus 6y into 18xy is 3x. So that's the answer for the first one. Number 2, so with factorization, if you know what you're doing, you can basically go through them very quickly. Number 2, 4x squared minus 1 is the difference of 2 squares. And this is how you factorize the difference of 2 squares. You ask yourself, what multiplied by itself gives you 4m squared? And the answer is 2m. You put a 2m here. You put 2m here. Then you ask, what multiplied by itself gives you 1? The answer there is 1. You put a 1 here and a 1 here. On the one side, you put a plus. On the other side, you put a minus. 3, display quadratic expression. I'm going to use the ABC method. So first I have to find AC. A is 2. C is minus 2. And this is minus 4. B is minus 2, minus 3. Now, how do we factorize a quadratic expression? Using the ABC method, I'm going to split the middle term and then factorize by grouping. To split the middle term, I need to find 2 numbers. When I multiply them together, I get negative 4. When I add the same 2 numbers together, I get a negative 3. All right. So I need 2 factors of minus 4, which when added together gives me minus 3. Those 2 factors are minus 4 and positive 1. So I'm going to split the middle term into 2t squared minus 4t plus 1t minus 2. To the left, 2t is common, so I put that outside, 2t. 2t into 2t squared is t, minus 2t into 4t is 2, plus, to the right, when there is no common factor, the common factor is 1. And of course, in the bracket, you must have t minus 2. 1 into t is t, 1 into minus 2 is minus 2. Common to both sides is t minus 2, so I'm going to have t minus 2. And in the next bracket, I'm going to have 2t plus 1. All right, go down further. Here, I'm asked to write as a single fraction and simplify. Now, the first thing I would do is I would put these in brackets. I would tell students that those brackets are your salvation. They are there to help prevent you from making an error. Now, if I'm adding or subtracting 2 fractions and the denominators are different, I must find the LCM. The LCM here is 12. 3 into 12 is 4. So it's 4 times the numerator, which is 5p plus 2. Minus 4 into 12 is 3. It's 3 times the numerator, which is 3p minus 1. Next, we're asked to simplify. So next, I'm going to remove the bracket by applying distributive law for the numerator. So I'm going to have 20p plus 8 minus 9p plus 3, because a negative times a negative is a positive. And this is over 12. Next, I'm going to group like terms. So that is 20p minus 9p plus 8 plus 3 and this is over 12. Our final answer is 11p plus 11 over 12. The final answer is 11p plus 11 over 12. All right, next. All right, so the last part of the question is C. C says a formula is given as D is equal to the square root of 4h over 5. We're asked to determine the value of D when h is 29, and we're to give our answer to 3 significant figures. So D is equal to the square root of 4 times h, but h is 29, divided by 5. So therefore, D would be equal to the square root of 4 times 29, which is equal to 116 over 5. Now, what I would do is I would put this in the calculator and just press equal. All right. When you're using the calculator, those brackets would be maybe important. So I'm going to have the square root, open bracket, 116 divide by 5, close bracket, then I press equal. And we're asked to give our answer to 3 significant figures. So the answer is 4.82 to 3 significant figures. And lastly, all right, we have D is equal to 4, the square root. D is equal to the square root of 4h over 5. And we're asked to make h the subject of the formula. All right, so when h is the subject of the formula, I need to have h by itself on one side. The first thing I need to do is to get rid of the square root sign. And how I'm going to do that, I'm going to do the opposite of square root, which is the square. So I'm going to start by squaring both sides. So now I'm going to have d squared is equal to 4h over 5. So the first thing I did was to get rid of the square root sign by squaring both sides. If you square something that is under square root sign, you're going to get back what is under the square root sign. Then I'm going to put my d squared over 1, and I'm going to say if I have one fraction is equal to one fraction, I'm going to cross multiply. So 1 times 4h is 4h is equal to 5 times d squared, which is 5d squared. Next, I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And so I'm going to have h, which is my new subject of the formula, is equal to 5d squared over 4. And of course, that is the end of the question.